Hey, guess what, friends? The monitor is here. Hey, baby. You made that? That's so good. Did you see my package? Oh, that's a good package. Got it. Hey, friends. So yesterday I did an initial kind of overview of this monitor. I saw it on B&H. I've been looking for a monitor similar to this that can do camera control, and I jumped on, bought it, put that overnight shipping on there, and here she is, all before 11 a.m. Not too bad. And well, here she is. Today we get the ultimate pleasure of doing a unboxing video. So take a look at it. Just kind of read through the back here real quick. So we've got MP style battery, cool, power buttons back there, great, battery release, SD card slot, easy install of LUTs and firmware updates, cool. Locking cable for the HDMI in, locking cable for the USB-C port. I don't really care about locking cables all too much because this monitor is not going to be recording. If this was a Ninja that had the SSDs in there, locking cable would make a lot more sense. But USB control for and power, camera control, USB-C power in and out, on-device calibration. That's cool. Cool. Let's get this thing opened. Cool, cool, cool. Ooh, it's got one of those little kind of Apple box feels. Shinobi. Welcome to the Atomos community. So one of my guys who works with me a ton, his name is Bryson, you might see him around. He rocks a Shinobi, this normal monitor on his camera, and this thing is stupid thin compared to the original version. So that's very nice. Already super lightweight, super thin. Boom. Now, I can go ahead and tell you something right off the bat that I don't love. Them some big bezels on this thing. I don't know why companies do that. They should take after Apple where they stop doing so many large bezels. That would make sense, but yeah, it is what it is, you know. Cool, let's see what else is in this box. So we've got a getting started guide. Cool. This is that locking HDMI and USB connector that I was talking about earlier. Cool if you're into that kind of thing and really want them to be locked in. It's nice that they provide a USB-C cable because USB-C cables are everywhere. They all do different things. They all are, some are not great, some are great. I wonder how long this one is. Pretty darn long. So I'll definitely be getting a shorter one just to work with my camera rig a lot better because this one's, I think, a 3 foot. You really only need, for me at least, 6 to 8 inches at the most. Yeah, it is what it is. What else we got in here? That looks like about everything, but this box is very... Huh. So, nothing in the box except for USB-C cable and the locking connection with your 2 super tiny screws. That's what's in here. So I'm going to keep those screws in there with the locking port to keep that safe. So that's pretty much it. Let's power this thing on. See what we're working with. All right, now let's go ahead and talk about this. A couple things that I see right off the cuff is, I mean, I can see my Sony monitor right here, so I know I don't really have a good shot of that, but the reaction time is immediate. So like when I record, it records. When it records, I record. And if you start recording from the camera, boom, it automatically shows up. You stop recording from the camera, boom, it automatically stops. So these controls down at the bottom, a little bit hard to work with. So you've got your ISO. I mean, like if you, I wish there was a way to almost like pull up a bigger thing because these buttons left and right kind of small. So ISO we got currently at 640 right here in the bottom corner. If you want to go up, you can tap this arrow. It'll go up to 800, and then it'll go up to 1,000. Very very small increments there. So like, I mean, it's not a big deal for me because the way I shoot, I always have two hands on the camera anyways. So if I'm walking from one room to the next and I need a drastic white balance shift, I can just grab that white balance dial and roll it all the way down. But it is healthy that I can see exactly what my white balance is right here on the screen at all times. Something that one of the comments from my first video posted was saying, hey, like I don't really need USB power delivery. Is there a way to turn USB power delivery on or off? I don't think so. So I was reading through the manual, seeing, and essentially the way they word that is any camera that supports USB power delivery, it will give out the USB power delivery that it needs or it supports. So on my Sony camera right here, you can see I've got 33% battery, but it's charging, which means it should hold that 33% throughout working at all. And then when you go into the battery menu, it has USB power delivery and it's just kind of blanked out. Can't click on it, doesn't really show anything. So the idea of turning that USB power delivery on or off probably isn't happening. But this is the Shinobi monitor that we all love and know. But the brightness looks incredible. The fonts look incredible. You're able to just read and see different waveforms and things like that are easy to pull up, all while still having that camera control feature. So I'm super excited for it because tomorrow I actually have a new power delivery source delivering for this camera where I can go directly from my V-mount battery to the Atomos dummy battery, and then that way I can power my camera via USB-C. And I really want to get some better, more right-angled USB-C cables, just a little bit shorter, just to clean up those cable runs, because there's no purpose in having a 3-foot cable when I'm trying to go from here to here every bit of 8 to 10 inches. Okay, so just running through a couple different scenarios here, I'm starting to notice a couple pretty big problems. Hopefully these can be fixed with software updates. Hopefully not. So on my Sony camera here, you can see the dials at the top, this 1, 2, and 3 dial, I use these constantly. 1 is always set to 4K 30 at 1/60 shutter. 2 is going to be at 4K 60 already with a 1/125 shutter. And then 3, which we use rarely, is set to 4K 120 with a 1/250 shutter. That way, if I'm going from separate things, needing a different frame rate, I can just quickly change the dial, know that my shutter speed is accurate, and things are set. However, when you plug the USB-C cable in and you're on camera control, currently we are at 4K 30 with a 1/60 shutter on the Atomos, same in the camera. But when you change it to number 2 to be 4K 60 at 1/125, it doesn't change anymore. So this dial isn't doing anything anymore. But what's interesting is, say you turn the camera off, monitor goes blank, disconnects, turn the camera back on, and we are in mode 2 on the Sony camera. Now we open in and we are in 4K 60 at 1/125. So maybe let's try this. What if we unplug USB-C, change our camera setting, which it changed just fine. Now we're back to 4K 30, 4K 60, and then 4K 120, and you can even see the exposure differences changing on the monitor. But then you gotta go back to whatever setting you want and then re-plug in your cable. And now we have camera control at 4K 60 with a 1/125 shutter. That's frustrating. So I don't know if that's a Sony problem or an Atomos problem, but like, can we not, please? Another couple comments were asking me yesterday, is touch control or is touch focus going to be a thing on the monitor? I think that's just an absolutely not. Atomos said 0 things about this in their press release, 0 things about this in the user manual. And I mean, it's interesting because you can do it on the port keys LH7P and LH5P. Pretty finicky, but it works. This one, I mean, if you go to touch to focus on your camera, you can change your tracking, you can track different objects. but you're not going to be able to do that on the Shinobi 2. Just not even an option. Doesn't even think about saying anything like that. So I don't know, man. Losing my 1, 2, and 3 dials makes me never want to use this monitor ever. So we will see if that can be fixed with some sort of software from Sony or some sort of software from Atomos. Not really sure, but we'll figure it out, I guess, as we go along. Because even here, even if you jump into, say, S&Q mode, which I have set for I have S&Q currently set as a time lapse, so 1 frame per second just to get time lapse shots. Yeah, no, it doesn't do anything. I can go into video mode, manual mode, shutter, priority. This dial does absolutely nothing when that USB-C is connected. So, we'll see. I'm sure the problems will continue to arise as we test this product more. So this is just kind of just a general unboxing, general first look, general, hey, here's what you get in the box, which isn't much. I mean, in the box you get a 3-foot USB-C cable, a locking HDMI and USB connector with screws, and the actual monitor itself. So nothing super crazy, but I am very excited for this. Like, obviously Atomos is known for just having all of the monitoring tools available. So right here you've got literally everything from false color to zebras to focus peaking to all of your things. But then also just with a tap of this camera button here, you switch over to seeing all of your camera settings. And for me personally, I'm gonna rock these camera settings pretty much the entire time, and I might pull up some waveforms while I'm shooting, and then I'm able to keep my camera settings with waveforms right there. So man, I'm looking forward to it. I'm so excited about this monitor. I've been struggling in the monitor space over the last 3 to 4 months, trying to find something that just worked correctly. I've got a wedding coming up in 2 days that I'm ideally gonna have this monitor strapped to my main camera the entire day. Just be able to rock and roll and see what we've got going on. So I'm excited for it. Stick around to this channel for more reviews on this monitor. Ideally, I'll do a full wedding day review after I get to use that for the full day on Saturday. And yeah, so I'll see you guys on the next video. Please subscribe if you learned anything. I'm on my mission here to kind of make this YouTube thing a secondary income, even if it's small. And we've been going at it pretty hard for about a year now, and we are still not quite to the watch hour limit where we need to monetize. So if you would subscribe, give this video a like, drop a comment below. I respond to every single comment just because why not? I enjoy it. We're building a community, we're building some questions, and I enjoy the questions and comments that come through always. So I'll catch you guys on the next video here really soon.